What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 69 of The Climb here with Luzenak. Today, we have more Europa League action, of course. Last episode, we came unscathed through a fixture against Sevilla, and today we have the quarterfinals. Yes, we are one step away from where we were last year, and we're going to be taking on Benfica, a Portuguese giant of a club, and a club who have a fairly familiar face if you've been watching our stuff over on Twitch. They've got João Resende playing up front for them. Unfortunately, he's injured, so we won't be seeing him over the next two games. But of course, Benfica are a team that are pretty good in Football Manager, and to be fair, they're pretty good in real life. Of course, they were the team that produced Antonio Bras, who plays for us and has been, one of our star players over the last few seasons. They gave him to us for 1.1 million. I think when you look at the average ratings and just how he's performed for us, it would be fair to say we got a pretty good deal at the end of the day. And I'm sure he is going to have a bit of a point to prove today. Of course, since you were last here, we have played a couple of games in other competitions. Those games were against Rennes and against Marseille. The first result was a 5-2 win. The goals flowing. Yes, we've been getting back in some goal-scoring form. Some really nice goals in this game as well. I won't show them all because 7 goals in this match we'd be here a while, but there were some really kind of nice diverse goals, some really good finishes as well, and ultimately I was really happy with what we had shown in this match. I think this is the kind of game that, yes, we've not kept a clean sheet like we would love, but I'd much rather score 5 and concede 2 than win just 3-0. I feel like we needed a few goals just to keep the confidence going. Of course, last episode was a huge win against Sevilla, and this momentum kind of carried on into this game. In the very next game as well against Marseille, despite it being a 0-0 draw, relatively content with what I saw at the end of the day. It's a team who are going pretty strong in the league, Marseille, so a 0-0 draw is nothing to be ashamed of. And you can see, just looking at the league table here, we have a game in hand over Nice. We are within touching distance of Marseille, who sit 3 points ahead of us. And Lyon, as of late, have really struggled. So the dream of second place hasn't quite left my mind just yet. But of course, today we are going to be shifting our focus to our European campaign, and well, truth be told, this is the competition I'd really like to succeed in at this point. Of course, we've been in this situation before. This is not uncharted territory, and well, we're going to have to be at our best to get a result today. So going into this game, a bit of team news to talk about, I suppose, and the team news is that there isn't too much team news. Unfortunately, Barry Marsden, the only kind of notable first-team player, he is out suspended. His goal-scoring escapades of previous seasons have kind of vanished this year. He's been on a downwards trend for a little while, but of course had a few injuries to deal with last year. This year he's been, by all accounts, a tiny bit disappointing. What it does mean, though, is that Collie, the Senegalese international, who you may remember we signed over the summer, he comes into the first team today, and he's a really good player. In terms of the position in the pitch where I feel like we have the best immediate backup, centre-back is definitely one of those positions where if we do have one player out, I'm pretty confident that we can, cover for that without too much of a loss. The rest of the team is kind of what you would expect. Of course, I have been shuffling around the midfield at final third roles. So, yeah, if you've maybe not watched in a little while, you might look at this and it's a bit different. But it hasn't changed since last time. And all in all, relatively happy with what I've seen from the team thus far. The great news going into this game as well is players are fully rested, ready and raring to go. I am still not sure if I want to play Julio Cesar. He's let me down in the last few live comms, it feels like, but they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And with that in mind, maybe I am insane, and perhaps I'm also insane for not making an obvious joke about this episode's number. If you've gone down in the comments and already written a joke about the episode number 69, just delete it now. I'll pretend I didn't see it. It's fine. Anyway, Benfica today, big game, challenging game. We open things up with a home fixture, so that's kind of like what we had against Sevilla previously. And well, it didn't serve us too badly then. Of course, we ended up winning the away game. Today, I would like to just build a nice firm foundation for us to build off. If we want to go through, we can't be relying on winning games away from home. We need to be doing well in these kind of games. Looking at their team, lots of real footballers, which is interesting to see. They've got Somsin in goal. They've got Jedson Fernandez playing out at the right-hand side of midfield. And to be fair, he's not a bad right-hand side midfielder at all. They've got Carlo Vinicius alongside Mitrovic in the final third. So quite a lot of physical presence, I suppose. Not a ton of pace there. And just looking across the team as the whole, some pretty good players. One regen in their team, which feels a little bit odd for this kind of late into a save game. This is season number 9 now. But whilst we focused on the future, Benfica look like they've got a slightly more mature squad, shall we say, by comparison. But anyway, I'm going to go with the generic I've got faith in you. I'm hoping that today the goals are going to flow. We've looked very, very good defensively in live comms without ever kind of, well, I guess just blowing the doors off places, without ever really kind of just having a load of goals go in our favour, despite having a lot of chances. I'm hoping, obviously, that we can put in a good performance here and do well. Felipe Jonathan has suffered a twisted knee, but should be able to play through it. That does fill me with a little bit of concern, but let's hope that that's nothing. And well, let's hope that by the end of the game we're going to be singing in the rain as Kene switches the ball over to Ari. That was a fantastic pass. Ari whips it in. Kofi back post was lurking. Now with Felipe Jonathan, with that twisted knee, does leave me a little bit nervous because that is not a great injury to have and have to continue on with. But I don't really have a good left back waiting and raring to go, so we'll stick with what we've got. Anyway, that was a chance that just went wide of the mark. Felipe Jonathan is struggling at left back. We will monitor that. And well, Benfica on the attack here. Mulder whipping the ball in. Collie heads it away. Lopez heads it on its merry way to Julio Cesar. Ari on the overlap on the right is sat on the shoulder of the last man. Now comes short to Sardella. Nice build-up play here. Can we get a bit of end product? Ari skips through, dispossessed. Ball given away in a slightly compromising position, perhaps. Although Noan Kene, well, I was going to say he's there to deal with it. He's not there to deal with it. Some shocking pressing by him allows Benfica to beat the press and bring it forward. Now wide with Draft, the left back. Looks like Benfica pretty content to play patiently as Julio Cesar takes it away. Can he score this episode? Can he score on this occasion? Not with a tackle like that. That was a crunching tackle that came flying in. I feel like that wasn't the highlight. I feel like there's more to this. Is there? I mean, call me Mystic Meg. Also call their defence a joke. Julio Cesar scores, and I want to give him loads of credit. I want to say I've always believed in him. He's not going to score an easier goal all year, is he? Applying pressure high up the pitch. Sonsin passes it out. Weigl has it. Gives it back to the keeper short. What were they doing at the back, Benfica? I don't know. They probably don't know either. What I do know is we've taken a lead in this game. And to be fair, just judged by the match stats you can see here, probably deserve to be ahead in this game. We've looked very, very good in the opening stages. My concern, of course, is that this is just a phase of play. And if it is just going to be a phase where we are the more dominant team, I will hope that, I suppose, we can take advantage of it whilst we are ahead and get a goal or two more. And maybe Ari can stop doing those kind of long shots. That's not the first one we've seen like that today, Ari. Yeah, a little bit disappointing with his attempt there. Although, I can't knock his performance too much. He's been pretty important to us thus far. Anyway, Julio Cesar, he's on a redemption arc now. He's got one goal. Can he get another here? Skips past one, skips past two. Can he finish it? I mean, he's forgiven. Why can't you score the easy chances, Julio? Why is it these goals that you like to score? I wish I knew. Kofi gets the assist, but let's be honest, this is all on Cesar. Skips inside, skips past one man who fails a tackle. Centre-back challenges him, stands up, takes it round him too, slots it into the bottom corner. Sonsin gets a hand to it. It's not enough though. And Luzenak take a 2-0 lead. And this makes me feel better. Although, as we've learnt this year, 2 goals, not enough. Not enough. I want us to keep going here. We cannot afford to rest or feel content with 2 goals. We need more. And well, there is another highlight here before half-time. I suppose for Benfica, if they can get a goal here, it would really, give them a way back into the game. If they concede another here, that is going to be a tall order to ask. Brass so far for us has been a little bit quiet in the midfield. Of course, the deep line playmaker, as I already mentioned, formerly of Benfica. I imagine he's got a little bit of a point to prove, but so far we've not seen him kind of involved too much in the play going forward as Kofi brings it forward and hits it. Much like Ari. We'll call that speculative. I think speculative's a bit generous. Either way, 2-0 up at the break. I have to be happy with that, but I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy because I want them to get fired up. Everyone reacts well except Sardella, so I'm going to have a little chat with him, cheer him up, and on our merry way we go into this second half, hoping we can keep this momentum going. This feels like one of those games where we've just turned up so far, and hopefully in this second half we're going to be able to turn up the heat a notch, I suppose, and really, see out this game and hopefully just give ourselves a fantastic platform for the second leg. Anyway, Brass has the ball here, tries to switch over to Ari but can't pick out his man. Benfica still intent to play the ball out from the back. And, well, given what we've seen so far in this game, it feels like a risky game they're playing, but a game that they seem happy to play, as Cesar has the ball lumped forward to him, takes it round the keeper and tucks it home. He's forgiven after giving him. He's the best striker in the world, the record transfer, the player who I'd all but given up on last episode. Makes me feel like a bit of a mug, because he's scored some really nice finishes here. Anyway, Felipe Jonathan picks up the ball. What an incredible ball by the left-back. Despite his twisted knee, Cesar gets there, takes it round the keeper, tucks it away. 3-0, and whilst it's not game over, I'm pretty happy with that. And with that, I'm going to bring in Galvez at left-back. Felipe Jonathan, you've earned a rest now with that assist. I don't want to risk you with your injury. Benfica with a chance here, out in the wide area. Jota over it. Plays it short to Jedson Fernandez. He gives it back to Jota. Don't let them work it into the centre here. Ball played inside. João Cancelo hits it just wide of the mark. Not the player I expected to see in the box there having that shot from them, but yeah, João Cancelo playing for Benfica 9 years in the future. Kofi, what can you do, Kofi? Oh my word. The keeper saved. I thought he'd hit the woodwork. The keeper saved it. He's had a lot of speculative efforts. I was not expecting that one to hit the target. It has. It's gone out for a corner. Could we make something of this? Brah, you can hit them from here. Goes back to Galvez in the end. I feel like this is a chance fizzling out, and indeed it is. But with an hour gone, it's hard not to be pretty happy with how things have gone. I'm going to bring in Belstra out wide for Ari. Of course, Belstra, the young Italian we've signed from Inter in January, hasn't had an immediate mark on the team yet. Hasn't wowed me yet. Maybe he can wow me today. Maybe this is a game where he can come on off the bench and help us further extend this lead. That would be the dream. But with 15 minutes left, time is just trickling away here. Sardella out on the right-hand side is going to long throw it forward. Powell heads it out, but only as far as Kene, who will hit them from here if he feels like it. Sardella options inside, crosses it in. Cesar was under it, cleared away. Jota helps it out too. Pressure continuing to mount though for the Benfica defence as Sardella has it in the wide area here. Players queuing up in the middle. Back post, Kofi's there. Makes it 4-0. And whilst we definitely can't afford to view this game as done, I'm feeling pretty good now going into the second leg. 4-0 up, no away goals scored for Benfica. This has been an emphatic performance and a half. Everything clicking. And Kofi getting in on the goal-scoring action has been a bit of a disappointment this year, if I'm being honest, Kofi, but not a bad way to make your mark on this game here. 4-0 up, a hat-trick for Julio Cesar, a goal for Kofi. We've got one last sub. You know what? QUATER, come in for Bra. Let's give Bra a standing ovation. An 8.3 rating for him at deep line playmaker against his former club. And ultimately, that is just an absolutely fantastic win that hopefully sets us up now for a second leg where we will, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, match our previous showing of reaching a semi-final in the Europa League, which feels pretty darn good. Anyway, you can see here, Felipe Jonathan out for 5 to 7 days. I will probably rest the entire team with the midweek game that is coming up. We have a pretty good rotated 11. The game is against Nîmes as well, who are down in 19th. So I think we can afford to rotate things, risk it a little bit. We'll be back in just a second for the game against Benfica. I hope you're ready. I am nervous. Let's get into this. Okay guys, so we are back here for the second leg against Benfica, and what a situation we find ourselves in. That result was a little unexpected, the 4-0 win, and well, we carried that momentum into the game that we did just play off camera in the midweek against Nîmes. A 4-1 win in this one. I wasn't going to show the highlights, but the second and third goals that we scored are absolutely worth showing. We took the lead in this game through Huskaric, but they pegged us back not long later. It was Guano bringing the ball forward for them and scoring from not far out at all. And to be fair to Nîmes, they had chances in this game. They probably could have gone ahead, but in the second half, we galvanised. We got back at our best. Belstra with a fantastic volley for the first goal. And just a minute later, the goal scorer, Belstra, was turning into a Rabonerer. Yeah, he Raboned the ball into the box from the right-hand side. It went in, and Tadibi, from the free kick outside the box, made sure of the win in extra time. A really good result for a fully rotated team, which gives me hope that today we can just go in refreshed and get the job done. Anyway, just a little bit of a heads up as to what's going to be coming up next time. Next episode, we are going to be doing the Coupe de France final, but depending on hopefully making it through this, I think tomorrow's episode for Tuesday is going to be a triple header. So yes, get ready for that. One of the biggest episodes ever, I imagine. Europa League semi-final, the Coupe de France final as well. Probably going to be our last ever game against PSG. I would quite like to beat them. Anyway, let's get into this game against Benfica. As I mentioned, pretty much at full strength. Marsden is unsuspended and despite playing in midweek has been rested, so he is ready and raring to go. And yeah, we're just going to go with the exact same team that did the job in the first leg. Obviously 4-0 up, knowing that one goal here makes it almost impossible for Benfica to come back. One goal for us, Benfica need 6. And that feels like, even by our own standards, a target that we couldn't even let slip, I would like to believe. But yeah, that 4-0 result was completely unexpected. We showed a degree of clinicalness that we've shown against lesser opposition this year, but very rarely against the top quality opposition. Yeah, I mean, it's been frustrating this year, I guess is what I've kind of had on my mind a lot. It's been frustrating this year because I feel like we've not always taken our chances, and especially in live comms, we've not looked particularly good. But both today in this game and in the game just, prior, this is what I've seen in a lot of the lower league games. It feels like we bottled it on the big stage. We've struggled. I say that. We have drawn against Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich, but of course you want to win some of those games. And, well, this goal makes things very comfortable. Julio Cesar, goal number 15, Bra with the assist as well. 5-0 on aggregate. And maybe I should just take off some players and rest them now. Yeah, this is a really, really good spot to be in. And we've got a long throw here. Cervella gives it to Bra. Now with Ari. Inside to Lopez, who hits the woodwork. And, well, I need to sneeze. I need to sneeze. It's coming. Does anyone else get that? This is the first time ever. I've got a feeling I need to sneeze. It's gone. We had a chance there. Julio Cruz had his effort saved by the keeper. Okay. I think it's past everyone. We're good. We're good. Right. Head in the game, Jack. Oh, my word. I mean, you can't accuse me of ever editing my videos too much. I keep it all in. Keep in the held-in sneezes. It's all part of the rollercoaster journey. If they score here, they can't score 6. It's not happening. They're not scoring 6, Football Manager. Don't you even toy with that idea. Felipe Cruz out on the right-hand side, set up by Harry Vinks of all men. I don't know why I've said him Vinks like he's French. It's Winks, Jack. He's English. I've been in France too long. 9 years and I'm just saying all names in a French accent. Please help me. Nice finish, to be fair, into the bottom corner. I mean, it's kind of the response that Benfica needed to have, having gone 5-0 down. But they've got a mighty mountain to climb. And I'm not too concerned now about going on defensive and shutting up shop. I would rather go out there and try and get a few more goals. And well, maybe Ari can do something here. Skips past 1, skips past 2. Can he finish it? No, he had 2 of those in the last game as well, didn't he? Last year, Ari scored those kind of chances. Those were the ones he'd bring forward and he would just score. And this year, just not been the same, unfortunately, for us. Anyway, the ball cleared out by our keeper from the goal kick. Straight, however, to Benfica, who have the ball. Carlo Vinicius through on goal. Huge tackle. Who was that? Felipe Jonathan, the captain. Oh, my word. That shot block was absolutely insane from that slide from behind. Despite having more shots and slightly less possession, you'd have to say Benfica having the best of the highlights here in this first half. And they've got another one here. Cross is blocked, lumped up the field to Julio Cesar. What can you do, Julio? He takes it under control, cuts inside. He's in great form. Can he finish it? No. I mean, I genuinely thought he was going to do it after some of the goals he scored in these last couple of games. Unfortunately, on that occasion, just couldn't quite find the target. And, well, it remains 1-1 on the night. But, yeah, Benfica know that they need another 5 goals in this second half. I want to say it now. We're making it to the semi-final. I'm not too scared about upsetting the FM gods. They're not coming for me today. And, yeah, what an incredible result. 30 minutes left. I mean, even if we went on to concede a couple, just to win the first leg as we did and to get the away goal as we have, it's kind of difficult to find any negatives, really. Anyway, Kofi keeping the ball in play here. Played up to Bra. Now with Kene switching over to Ari. Lovely build-up play here. Can we have a bit of end product? Ari has another shot straight at the keeper. I might as well get like a soundboard recorded with me saying that line. It's happening far too much here, isn't it? Ari just kicking it straight at the keeper. Anyway, ball whipped into the box, headed just wide of the mark. That was a little bit scary. Going to take off Antonio Brad. Despite him being one of the better performers on the pitch, I don't want to risk him picking up a booking and getting suspended. Felipe Jonathan, I'm going to take off for Galvez as well, just because he's a little bit tired and he's not the best day at the office. Despite that huge tackle, I want to protect our key players if we can. We don't need any unnecessary red cards or suspensions or injuries at this point. As to be fair, they have scored. Sergio Ventosa with it. He's used some magical powers to retrieve the ball from the side of the net. I mean, he's actually a wizard. Ball whipped in, headed by Mitrovic. Ventosa, to be fair, did really well to get on the end of it. Still not sure. How did he acquire the ball from that situation? Answers on a postcard. I think he may be a wizard. It's the only logical explanation, folks. 2-1 isn't quite as cool on the night, but it's still 5-2 on aggregate, which looks pretty blooming good. And while Ari's bringing it forward, please don't shoot, Ari. He whips it in on this occasion. It's cleared, but only as far as Kene, who has a cannon of a shot, but does just give it straight away to Benfica. Bring the ball forward here. Mitrovic bringing it forward. That looked offside to me. Tomov makes the save. Galvez eventually clears it. That was a little bit scary. And well, despite some late pressure by Benfica, and Benfica having plenty of chances, I'm not feeling too nervous about things, even if they got one. Still got a long, long way to go, Benfica, in the time that remains here. And well, they've gone all the way back to the keeper. 14 minutes left on the clock. I'd quite like to get a draw at least on the night, but I can't really blame the players from choosing to just take their foot off the gas, have a bit of a night off, I suppose. Given how the first leg played out, the degree of complacency is always going to creep in, you feel like. Anyway, Felipe Cruz here with it. Now Paul Bernardo whips the ball wide to the right. Mulder keeping the ball in play. Brings it forward. Huge block by Galvez. Ball cleared though. Tomov tips it over the bar. Felipe Cruz with the effort. Not a bad chance for Benfica by any means. I'm going to get a bit shouty, I think. We need to just stay a little turned on as Tomov makes a huge stop again. Let's not switch off here. 13 minutes. They still need 4 goals, but I'm still nervous. Is that irrational? I feel like after some of the bottles that we've had, after some of the leads we've thrown away, whilst this would be the biggest of all by a comfortable margin, I don't feel like it's even that irrational, my fear that I have right now. Ball forward again. Nascimento with it. Hits it. Oh my word. Did Tomov save that? He didn't. It hit the side netting. I think he had it covered, the keeper. And well, 10 minutes left. Time just trickling away. Benfica, you are done for. We are going through to the Europa League semi-final. And whilst it looked incredibly likely after we took an early lead in this game, which meant that Benfica needed 6, it's hard not to be pretty happy with the way that has played out. That was absolutely top draw by us. Very, very happy indeed. We win the Europa League quarter-final. And in the semi-final, we are taking on Arsenal. Oh gosh, that's not the kindest of draws, is it? Third in the Premier League, Arsenal. Their key player is Petrosino, who was actually a player we looked to sign over the summer on a free transfer. They've also got Paul Pogba in their ranks, Ansu Fati, Mason Mount. Yeah, some pretty big names there that leave me a little bit nervous. Interesting to note that Arteta is still their manager. Last season they finished 5th, but I guess they won the Europa League last year to get a Champions League spot. Are they the reigning champions of the Europa League? No. I'm confused as to how they qualified for a Champions League finishing 5th. Oh no, we're in the Europa League. This is awkward, isn't it? Right, let's just end things here. Apparently I need to go have a lay down and a rest. I think the excitement of the win's gone to my head. They finished in 5th. That's why they're in the Europa League, Jack, and we're in the Europa League. I'm still bitter. I just want to be in the Champions League, everyone. Either way, great result today. Let's build off that tomorrow. Last season we finished 3rd. I want to finish top 3 at the very least. That is a task at hand. Will we be able to do it? You'll have to tune in next time to find out. Of course, the Coupe de France final against PSG, our final meeting against them before FM21, should be a big one, as well as the Arsenal games following almost immediately. I hope to see you guys then. Thank you so much for your support on the series. As always, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.